Hey man, got a nickel? Ha! Got a new comment just now. Alright, the video I made was got video ideas that aren't about hair loss. Now the person who commented, I don't know how to pronounce this username, so I'm going to quote butcher it. Zintha Lee Louse. Let's go with that. The comment is this, quote, "The free market is not a good judge of quality. What it desires is simplicity and consumability. Therefore, if the money is the primary concern, you should be the A-team of abstract, vaguely hair loss related ramblings and keep repeating the same things over and over again for the next few years. Different videos will require different motivation," end quote. Now, here's what's interesting about my response to this comment. I 100% agree with this. Now, granted, I feel that I have a more positive view of these words, and my perception totally changes the meaning of these words, perhaps on how they were intended. But I totally get it. If I want to continue doing what I'm doing, I mean, it's clearly working for me. I mean, I was so excited just to get 1,000 subscribers, and that wasn't even a month ago, and I've already nearly gained 100 more. So I'm like, okay, well, this thing is working, but why? And according to Zintha Lilaus, it's because ultimately my videos are not of good quality, but instead they're simple and they're consumable. I have no problem with that. That doesn't bother me at all to think about that. I mean, I've even made a video about this. I said, I made a video talking about how I got from 100 to 1,000 subscribers in a year. And I said, it's part of it in theory is because I choose quantity over quality. So yeah, that's part of my formula. I'm not trying to be the best. Have you noticed that I don't edit my videos? I don't have music. I don't have words going across the screen. When I did that, people didn't care. They didn't watch them. Now that I do this raw and unedited, people relate to that. And I think it goes to the next thing that he says when he talks about ramblings. I mean, and I can see how that would be the choice where they're ramblings, but here's how I look at it. Stream of consciousness. Have you heard of that? Stream of consciousness? That is the exact method I use as I make these videos. All I need is one phrase, and I start walking, and I press go on the camera. And out of that, what you're going to experience is me communicating unedited, uncensored, unguarded. I let the walls down, and whatever I say, that's the video. It's unrehearsed. It's not edited. It's whatever I'm saying. And what happens is that presents the vulnerability that I have with you. I'm being vulnerable with you. I'm being real with you. And so, you know, there's a lot of YouTubers who are very polished and edited and scripted, and they're entertaining, and maybe they make you feel good. But I'm not necessarily here to make anybody feel good. I'm here to be honest about what's going on in my head in regards to hair loss. So I actually would just change the word ramblings to stream of consciousness, and I fully embrace that method. I love this method because honestly it helps me out a lot. Because if you're just talking nonstop for 7 minutes at a time or whatever, what happens is some things slip out, and often those things that slip out that you didn't realize that you hadn't said out loud before, those often are the things that you needed to understand about yourself most. And often those are the things in my videos that need to be communicated. As far as this thing about vague hair loss related okay, keep repeating the same things over and over. I mean, I won't deny that either. I mean, I even made a video a couple months ago talking about there's, I think, like 5 major topics I cover in the world of hair loss, and that's all I really do. But keeping in mind, this is mainly a comments-driven channel here. So while it's the same basic stuff, it's always a different perspective when someone leaves a new comment, and we can look at things differently. I've learned so much. So he said, if money is the primary concern, you know, even though I agree with it being simple and consumable and not necessarily having good quality, I mean, I agree. That's my formula. I'm with that. I just don't know that money is the primary concern. I make $42 a month right now. I mean, it grows each month because the subscribership continues to just keep going up and up. But $42 a month right now is what I'm at. I mean, last month it was 41, the month before that 39. So I mean, money's involved, but I mean, keep in mind, this is just what I do during my breaks at work or after everyone goes to bed at the house. I work a full-time job. I make real money. I mean, I'm not rich, but I work a real job. So to say that $42 a month is worth me spending a minimum of 30 to 45 minutes a day, I don't know that it would really translate. Honestly, I don't know. But what I do know is another thing that definitely motivates me, aside from the $42 a month, is that I know that I get to help other people. I get confirmation of that daily from people who are watching my videos. I know that I'm helping people. And without trying to make people feel good by words, I'm actually just, they're able to relate to the things I say in my stream of consciousness. And then also I gain a lot from it because I learn a lot about myself and others that are dealing with this. You know, ultimately what brings us together is hair loss, but more specifically, and this is one of my things that I discovered at Target, you know, on Friday. I feel, this is my opinion, that we are ultimately obsessed with the topic of hair loss. I'm not saying we're obsessed with, oh no, I'm losing my hair, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go bald, That's not what I think this is about. I think this is about, there is an unpronounced culture or subculture of hair loss that so many men go through. They think about these things and it's not presented anywhere like on a regular basis the way I do it. There's a void in the universe, and I've learned to tap into that and make a show out of it, which again is completely real. Everything about what I do is real, you know. I'm vulnerable with you. You leave comments, I read them word for word, and we discuss these things. So I think it would be unfair and untruthful to not admit that. Is this an obsession of some sorts? I think so. I think that's why it may seem repetitive or rambling to an outsider. But to those of us who are part of the brotherhood of the hair loss, it makes sense. And you know, you don't have to watch every single video. I do like 3 a day. I mean, just watch the ones that jump out at you. But this is all real. And I think that in my simplicity and in my consumability, I'm not great at I'm good at what I do here, but I'm not a great YouTuber. I'm not anything special. I'm not a big deal. And I know that. And I'm happy with that. So that just goes back to me being confident in who I am. I can say, hey, I'm not a big deal, but I'm happy doing what I do. And I have a lot of fun getting to interact with people, you know, that watch my videos. This is a lot of fun. So I just wanted to make this video to kind of just show the human side of this, as far as what all motivates all of us to be part of this. I'm going to say that we're ultimately obsessed with the topic of hair loss, but we're not obsessed necessarily with our actual hair loss. And I think there's definitely a difference there. The closing line was, different videos will require different motivation. I agree. I mean, until I find another subject that people find themselves into this subculture and they keep coming back for more, until I find that, this is what I'm going to do. I think 95% of my videos will be about hair loss, and I'll venture on the outskirts of others. So I'm going to do that video coming up later this week, I think, about how Southern am I. I think that'll be a really fun thing to explore and understand about myself. But still, really, I'd say 95% of what I want to do is going to be on hair loss. That is the driving force in these videos that keeps people coming back, and there's just nothing quite like what I do. So I'm very grateful for this comment because it helps me really. Here's what I learned from this. I learned that I place a lot of value on stream of consciousness, because when we can tear down those walls of communication and start saying these things out loud that we can't say in the real world because they'll think that we're insecure or something. Because if you're a man that talks about hair loss, it's like they see you as weak, and I understand that, and I get that personally. So I think everything I have to offer is to be appreciated by people that can relate to it. And for other people who don't relate to it the same way, it's not the same obsession. I mean, I'm sorry to use that word, but I just really feel that I personally, at least, am embracing the fact that I am obsessed with men's hair loss. Not losing my hair, not, oh no, look what's happening. But just in general, I think it's fascinating. And that's okay to admit. So if you don't want to use the word obsessed, you can use the word fascinated. We're fascinated by hair loss. Thanks for watching my videos. Whoa!